What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here, and this is Jessica Jones, Season 3, Episode 12, A Lot of Worms. The show's so bad that it scared all my face hair away. This is actually probably one of the better episodes, though, to be fair, but the problem is because of how it ends, I know what the final episode's going to be now. If you told me at the beginning of the season how this season was going to end, I would have slapped you in the face and said, no, please tell me they're not going to do that. They are. So this one, thankfully, focuses more on Salinger because Jessica realizes that Trisha's going to go after him because she's just on this crazy rampage of just murdering people because, you know, she was calling Jessica's mom like a murderous fiend all this time and like claiming that, oh, she's so terrible because she just went around murdering people. So it makes sense that now she feels good about murdering people. Oh, they're bad people though, so I'm righteous. I'm doing the just thing. That's the sound that I feel whenever I listen to Trish talk. It's just this thumping on the back of my skull. Because something, I think my brain's trying to get out because it's tired of watching the show and watching all this stupidity. It's like, let me out! But yeah, again, like, writers, you need to understand your character motivations. You know, it's something... not getting into too many spoilers, but there's a movie I just watched that I did a review on, and there were a lot of motivations that were a little weird, but it felt more like they needed it for the story, so it wasn't like they were going against their character. It was just sometimes they would suddenly change their motivation out of nowhere. This is just, oh, I'm so against your mom murdering, so I'm gonna kill her because she's a murderer. She just loves to murder people. And then by the end of the season, I want to murder people. I want to murder bad people because it makes me feel good inside because I feel like I'm doing something good for the world. That's not flip-flopping motivations. That's taking your character and saying, we want to make her the exact opposite by the end of the season. Stupid. It's stupid. Now she's hypocrite. Now she is a hypocrite. And we're supposed to feel bad for her? Again, they try to make me feel bad for Dorothy in this. Again, they try to make me feel bad for Jerry. Again. Why does this show love glorifying these evil people and trying to make me sympathize with them? Why does it do that? I don't get it. Trish, Dorothy, and Jerry, none of them are sympathetic characters. And yet this show wants me to think, oh, no, feel bad for her, though. She lost her mom. Okay, yeah, if everybody that lost their parent through some awful thing, if everybody that lost their parent turned into a murdering psychopath, then we would have nobody left in the world. Because this one murdering psychopath would kill somebody's parent, and then their kid would turn into a murdering psychopath that would go kill another parent. Then their kid, it would just be a looping cycle. They're trying to make me feel bad for Trish because she's becoming a murdering psychopath. That's not the natural reaction to losing a parent. And maybe they're going to blame it on the serum that got injected to her. It's like affecting her emotions or something. I don't know. She was so weird last season, crazy jealous, and I don't know what happened. Again, first season she was fine. Second season she turned into jealous and selfish, and then by the end of the season, you know, she wanted Jessica's powers for some reason, and now this season she's just been all over the place. One second she's downing Jessica, she's like, you're not a hero. And then she's like, but you can be. And now all of a sudden she's like, well, I'm gonna deal justice because it's what I need to do. It's my right to deal out the justice, even though it's not. And now she's just like, yeah, I'm okay killing people as long as they're bad, you know, because that's what they deserve, right? Oh God. So that's pretty much going to be the final episode, though, is Jessica going to probably try to stop Trish from going on a serial killer rampage, just murdering all of these evil people, which, again, is not what I want to see at the end of the show. I wanted to see a cool, epic showdown between Jessica and Salinger because he seemed like an interesting villain. But the problem was, as this episode is kind of wrapping up, I could see where it was going. You know, the difference, you look at how Daredevil Season 3 ended. Yeah, season 3. You see how that one ended, and like 2 episodes before, it looks like maybe they finally have something to nail Kingpin. Maybe it's finally going to go down. But the thing is you knew Kingpin was going to get out of it. You knew he wasn't going to get arrested because they had to have an epic showdown between Daredevil and Kingpin. And their fight was epic. Jessica versus Salinger was not going to be an epic fight, so the showdown was going to come to a battle of wits, which was this episode. So after that battle was concluded and he got arrested, I knew, well, there's one more episode. He's probably going to die, right? We see Trish is going off the deep end. She's going to kill him now. And that's going to be what the final episode is about, is Jessica trying to stop her. And either, I guess, I don't know what would be worse, honestly. Like, if she ends up sending her to prison, then she just sent her sister to prison, and that sucks for Jessica. But if she doesn't stop her and let her go, then she's just letting a killer go free. And I don't think she deserves forgiveness at this point. So, I don't know. I'm done talking about Trish, though. Let's move on to a couple of the other things in this. Malcolm, I don't understand his point now in the show. We have a short scene where Eric shows up and says, hey, we need to stop Trish, and then he just tases her, and that's it. And we see he and Bree, I guess, are a thing now, and he's like talking to Trish whenever she's locked up. He's like, yeah, I've just been really rough recently and cheated on my girlfriend with a hooker. And okay, we never really got a sense of why he became this person. He just said, this is who I am now. But why? What? Doesn't make any sense. And it honestly, it kind of, in my mind, it kind of pushes Trish to that, like, obviously what her little co-host said to her about, like, oh, he's just going to find a way to get out. That probably, like, pushed her over the edge where she's like, she's right, I need to kill him because he's going to get away with it. But Malcolm giving her that talk, and he's like, this is just who I am. I was trying to hide who I was. Now I'm not. I kind of felt like it was almost telling Trish, yeah, this is who you are now. You can accept that. And I feel like that's kind of BS. Like, you're just basically saying, yeah, be a killer. This is who you think you are. Go be this person then. I feel like that's wrong. Like, just the way he was saying it. I don't remember. It actually has been, because I went to go get dinner after because I was so hungry. It's been a little bit, so I don't really remember exactly the words he was using. But it was something along the lines of, I realize this is who I am and this is who I'm going to be now. Who I was before, that's not me. And from Trish's point of view, who she is now is somebody that kills bad guys. And that's not what she should be. That's not okay. But the way they're wording this conversation with Malcolm, it seems like he's saying, yeah, that's okay. I mean, obviously, if she actually said that, he probably wouldn't tell her, yeah, it's okay to be a killer. But that's kind of what it felt like. It felt like it was a justification to Trish to go be this killer because that's who you are now. That's how you believe you are, so go do it. And I feel like that's stupid. And again, he and Brianna being a couple is just weird, and then they have an awkward moment where Eric finds out, and I'm just like, why are we doing this? It's just weird. It's weird that they hooked up in the first place, and it's weird that it's continuing, and it's weird that she's back for some reason. I don't get it. It just seems dumb. Because it is dumb. Eric, comes back for a little bit in this to kind of help out. Just not really much for him. He does, I guess, help Jessica at the end, going up against Salinger. They never really clarify how she figured out what he was going to do and how she managed to get around it. I think Eric said that he saw him, like, sneaking around in his little ninja outfit, so maybe, because he did say he was going to, like, I guess, be around, in Malcolm's apartment, so maybe that's why he was there, was to keep an eye on if Salinger decided to break in again. But as far as Salinger's concerned, though, and him and Jessica going up against each other, because we did see Jessica save his life at the beginning, basically saving him from Trish because she wants to save Trish from being a raving psychopath, which she turns into anyway, so kind of seems pointless. But then, of course, Salinger does try to take her down. And it was okay. I mean, I liked that turning point whenever she revealed that she had a camera, she caught him on tape, and then revealed that she didn't actually take the tranquilizer thing that he put into her drink. But the problem is I feel like I've seen this done so many times where the hero will let themselves be captured or let the villain think that they've won, so that way they're in a... I think what's his name, Don Corneo in Final Fantasy VII really puts it best. When is the time that a villain reveals the truth, or how does he put it? When does a villain reveal his secrets? Something like that. It's like when he's already won, basically. So I've seen this done before, where the hero will trick the villain into thinking he or she has won, and then they'll reveal something that the hero will use against them. And so that's pretty much what she did here. It was okay. I do wish we could have gotten a little bit more seeing the setup into how she managed to turn it around on him, instead of it just being a quick, like, oh yeah, she just knew he drugged her drink so she didn't take it and faked passing out, and then let him take pictures of her, and then got him on tape saying he killed Dorothy, and boom, she beat him. It was just very, I don't know, simplistic, and didn't really go into a lot of detail. And because of the buildup of Salinger and how long he was the villain this season, I was hoping it was going to be a little bit more, I guess, clever. It was kind of clever, but I was expecting a bit more cleverness. So it is what it is, but yeah, I mean, that final scene, they're leading Salinger through the basement area or whatever of, I think it was the courthouse. And I'm just like, yeah, so Trisha's going to come kill him now because we have one more episode, so it has to end on some sort of climax. And I guess it's just going to be Jessica and Trish fighting each other, because clearly that's what this whole season has been building towards, right? Just like last season was totally building towards the climax of Jessica and her mom heading out on the road. So I hope Jessica Jones comes into the MCU at some point, because she is kind of an interesting character. She's somebody that, she has powers. She's not sure if she wants to be a hero, but she still does heroic things, and kind of that battle of, do you want to help or do you not? Because every time she does help, things go bad. But it kind of comes along with the hero mantra, and something that's been tackled before, where they have to deal with the responsibility of what happens. So I feel like that's an interesting concept to tackle. However, I feel like the writers for this show, after season 1 and everything that happened with Kilgrave, they just had no clue what to do. And so they just started, see what works. And just nothing's really worked. So I guess I'll go see how it ends now and give my thoughts on that. But not looking forward to it. Also, I'm going to throw in again, because Jerry popped up a couple times in this episode. Yeah, I still hope she dies at the end. I hope ALS gets her. She just done. She doesn't get any sort of like emotional moment with Kith. Kith just like spits on her grave or something. That would be great. Probably not going to do that, because they still treat Jerry like she's a hero in this story somehow, but whatever. On to the last episode. See you there. And now the season finale. Everything. This is everything you should not do to make a superhero show. But yeah, just not good. Not a good ending, and pretty shocking, right? I mean, this season has been so good. I expected the ending to be fantastic. No, I mean, it's not a good ending to a not good season. That's pretty much how I can put it. Everything down to how it ends with Jerry, how it ends with Trish, how it ends with Jessica, how it ends with Malcolm. I still don't understand his point to the story by the end of it. Like, literally, they have one scene where Zaya shows up, and he's just, like, trying to get her out of there so she doesn't see Bree, and then he calls her back by telling her that he loves her just so she can see Bree, and be like, oh, you fooled another one. And then walk away, and then he gets the keys to Alias. I don't know why. So no idea what was going on there. The only story that ended well, Eric's. I actually enjoyed the fact that Jessica set him up with Detective Costa as a partner. I think that would be a fun pairing to see. Him being able to sense whenever somebody's a bad person doing something evil, and then Costa helping him, like, find the evidence to prove it. I kind of like that pairing, so I wish they could do a show about that, because that would probably be more interesting than anything this show gave me. But everything else was just dumb. I mean, Jessica tracking down Trish. I mean, of course she's going to run into the bathroom and jump out the window, because of course she is. Then she tracks her down again, gets to the Jerry house, and that whole thing, and of course Kith shows up, and she's all like, thank you so much for everything you did. I don't care that you're still an evil person, and that's what set me off in the first place. You did it, and it helped me, and I feel so relieved now. I'm just like, of course. Of course. Because the thing that she did that got your husband to kill himself, originally. She did it again to this guy, except even worse, because she sent a psychopath after him. And you're just like, you did that for me? Thank you. I know I hated it when you did it originally and you got my husband to kill himself. I know that sucked, but now you helped me again through some underhanded methods, and now I love you for it. Because the writers are stupid. And then, of course, in walks Trish because, Jessica set it up as bait. And then Jessica tossed her up into the ceiling. And instead of just detaining her, she's like, you got nowhere to run. I'm faster than you. And I can beat you. And so Trish is like, well, but you're not doing anything right now. So I'm going to take that opportunity to run over and grab myself a hostage. And then, of course, Jerry, being the intelligent person that she is like, all right, now I'm going to get a gun with my ALS. And I'm going to shoot you. Just like, okay, sure. And then Jessica, tries to get the gun away, and then she shoots Jessica in the leg. And at that point, I'm thinking, okay, so Jerry is officially, she's a bad guy. Like, she's a bad guy. She has now shot our hero. Surely she's going to get punished for it, right? Nope. Don't get to see her die. The worst thing that happens is Kith comes in, still makes out with her, makes it seem like she still loves her, but then she's like, I'm leaving you behind. Just like, so the worst that she gets is she doesn't get Kith at the end of all of this. She still gets one last goodbye for her. I will say the line where Kith was like, you're gonna die. I know you don't want to die alone, but you will. I really like that line. It's the only part of that scene that I enjoyed. But yeah, I mean, it's not like she gets any punishment for all of the shit that she did this season. I mean, everything that she did in this episode, she literally sent a psychopath after a man who was just evading taxes. He did apparently have a spat where, he said he hit his wife, but he said he was getting help for it. So not a bad guy. But Jerry sees this as an opportunity, one, to get Trish off her back, and two, to possibly help out Kith and maybe get her back. And so without so much of us as a second thought, she's like, yeah, I don't care if he dies. This woman is evil. And what does she get at the end of all of this? She doesn't get the woman that she loves. And she's gonna eventually die alone. She should be in prison or go into the chair, just something. Anything to make up for all of the stuff I had to watch her do this season. She should be getting punished. And she was not. A little bit, not really. Not much. Yeah, some people say, oh, but that's hard to have the person that you love tell you that you're gonna end up dying alone and they're gonna leave you behind. Yeah, oh, boo-hoo. She got people killed. She defended a serial killer. She shot Jessica in the leg. She tried to help Trish go on the lam and go kill more people. God. Oh. If I ever see Carrie-Anne Moss's, with apparently Daredevil coming back and Kingpin coming back, if I see Jerry Hogarth in anything MCU related and Carrie-Anne Moss is playing her, I'm out. If it's a movie, I'm going to walk out of the theater. I'm going to be like, nope, not doing it. Can't stand her. Get me out of here. Because she's the worst. She's the absolute worst. So aside from that, let's also talk about Trish a little bit because, yeah, again, she runs away from Jessica, then she threatens to kill Kith because she wants to get out of there. And then Jerry takes her and she's like, we're just going to have to put you on the run. And it's like, okay, cool, so you're helping her get away. That's awesome. And then she does drop one really funny line. I mean, I was laughing. Had to settle myself down before I can continue. She's like, I don't want to kill anybody. That's a joke. Because she's been talking nothing but how she wants to kill bad people. Because she can do it and Jessica can't. It's what she's meant to do. She's like, I don't want to kill anyone. Okay. Again, the writers must have been drunk that day when they wrote that line. It's just like, oh, Jerry's probably going to be worried about Trish, killing her, right? So we got to have Trish say something that's going to get Jerry to be a little less nervous around. Why don't you just have Trish tell her that doesn't want to kill anyone? Okay. Hey, can we have millions of dollars now? God, it's just insane to me that people do get paid probably millions of dollars to write shit like this. When they're in the custody cell and she's being read her rights. I'm the bad guy. You really wrote her to say that. You really wrote her to say that. As if we couldn't get it just from her expression alone. You could have just had her expression of realization at any point. You had to have her sit there, genuinely say, I'm the bad guy. You might as well have had Dora step onto the screen. Can you point out the bad guy, boys and girls? I don't see him. Over there? Where that blonde lady is standing? She is a bad guy. Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad that people get paid for this. For crap like this. It's insane. Oh my god. So then all is said and done, Jessica for some reason's like, I'm gonna leave. Don't understand why. She's just like, I'm done. Done trying to be the hero. Done trying to help people. It's just too much. Then she gets to the train station. Or I think it was a train station. I don't know. It looked like a train station. Gets there, asks for a ticket to El Paso, and all of a sudden hears Kilgrave's voice in her head. That's it. Give in. Run away. It's too hard. And then she turns around, smiles at the camera. The ticket counter guy disappears behind her. And then she walks as some song plays. So she's not giving up? Did they not know they weren't getting a season 4 when they wrote this? Because, that doesn't tell me. So she's not giving up. She's going to keep fighting crime, I guess. She already handed over the keys of Alias to Malcolm. So is she done there? What? Kilgrave's voice in her head, didn't get any of that this season. Had one episode of it, season 2, that was the best season because he was there messing with her internally. This season didn't get any of that, and then he just pops up with a voice in her head at the very end, just to tease, like, oh, he's still there in her mind. Could you imagine if we had done that this season? Could you imagine if we had an episode like we had in season 2 where he shows up and is just, like, messing with her? Could you imagine that? Too bad you're not getting it. So, yeah, final thoughts for the season. I don't know what I can say that I haven't already said. This season was terrible. After season 1, they just constant downward slope. Honestly, I think season 2 had a few more moments just because, I don't know, there's just a little bit more mystery. Salinger was pretty much the only good thing in this season. Eric was okay at times, but overall wasn't that interesting. Like, his power, we still don't know what his power was about. Maybe that was something they were planning on doing later. And then, of course, everything got canceled on Netflix, so they can't now. But we never learned how he got this power. We never learned, was it a genetic thing? Was there some freak accident that happened? How exactly does it work? He can just sense evil. That's all we get. And I'm sure, there's probably Marvel comics about him and about his power we can look up. But from the show, I don't know anything about him still. That's his power and the fact that he has a sister. That's about all I know about him. So, yeah, I don't know. It just feels like a wasted character. Salinger was also kind of wasted at the end because it kind of felt like we had this nice build-up and then just sort of cut it off before the last episode and said, all right, there's your climax with him. Now we're going to move on to something else. And so it feels like this season wasn't even about him anymore. It was, I guess, building up the rivalry between Trish and Jessica, which we had at moments, but there was never like this real enemy, like clashing thing. It was just kind of a sibling rivalry, like one feels like the other one's not helping her, not good enough, and all this stuff. Typical sibling stuff that all of a sudden turns into, at the end, one's a murderer and the other one's trying to stop her from being a murderer, but she doesn't think she's a murderer. She thinks she's a good person, and it's just all dumb. It's all so stupid. Jerry in this season got even worse than in season 2. Like, I don't know. I don't understand why they think she's a character to write about. All of her story, like, if this were a character that we cared about, if this were a good character, yeah, having this little side story where she's dying and she's trying to rekindle a romance with a woman that she loved back in college, and she realizes this is her last chance at it, and yeah, finding out that she's married and trying to see if she can still work something out with her. Maybe that would be an interesting story for a side character. But the problem is they don't write her like a side character. They give her plenty of time. And it's not just about, oh, she just wants to rekindle this romance with someone and that person's already married. No, it's about she's going to wreck their marriage. And then when she does that and gets the husband killed, then she's willing to do whatever it takes, hurt whoever she can, to get that woman back. And that is a terrible person. And again, she's not written like a terrible person. Or, well, she is written like a terrible person. She's not written as though she's a terrible person. The way the writers did her story, it seems like she's one of the main characters. It seems like she's one of the protagonists. But she's written like an antagonist. She's written like a terrible, awful person. Hey. So, I don't know. Like I said, Salinger was interesting. The fact that Dorothy died was kind of nice. And then Eric's, I guess what Eric's going to be doing with Cost at the end was interesting. And I probably wanted to see more of that. But again, we're not going to get any of that now. So, I have a headache. A nice little migraine. I think I'm going to move on to something better, though. Something a little more well-written. Something with more interesting characters. Something with characters that are willing to color outside the lines, but do it for a good reason. And don't just go kill people willy-nilly, because it's not what heroes do. I'm going to go watch The Blacklist. So, if you like what you see in here, if you want to see more, I have plenty of reviews on this channel. I've reviewed all of the Netflix Marvel shows, and I'm still working on getting caught up. So, next up is The Blacklist. Kind of trying to tackle these one at a time and like upload them at alternating times, because I know I have a lot. I have a ton of videos that I uploaded onto the channel that I haven't actually saved and created a thumbnail and like put on there for public viewing. So hoping to start do that soon, where it's just like one every day. I'm just gonna bam 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 put it out. So yeah, but with all that being said, that's the end of Jessica Jones, and that's the end of the Marvel Netflix shows. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What were your thoughts on this final 2 episodes and the season as a whole? Let me know. We can talk about and discuss all that good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe for future Marvel, TV show, anything reviews. And I'll see you guys when I see you. Peace out.